Okay, I cannot see you and I cannot hear you.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. Hello, this is Junkers Review. This isn't a movie review. What we're gonna and actually isn't a review of anything. What we're gonna talk about is the hotels and the criteria that we judge the hotels that we have stayed in for
This
Dragon.
is for people. This is for people for DragonCon.
This is for DragonCon people searching. Uh, but we're both in these social media groups all the time. People are like, "Oh my God, they don't. Where do I stay? I have to pay $500 not to stay in a host hotel." Frankie and I have been going since 2006, 2007, which is like, how many years is that?
16. This will be our 17th year. This will be year 18.
Yeah, we stayed in 11 hotels for you, 11 hotels in 17 years. And some of those years we paid like $70 a night or something.
65 one year.
You don't have to stay in a host hotel. Benefits to it, but you can stay reasonably close as long it just follow what we say and you'll be fine. So Frankie and I go to DragonCon every year and we are there all day. I mean, we are there from sunrise to actually literally from sunrise to sunrise. One morning Frankie and I were walking back from a game of werewolf at the Westin, and the sun was coming up.
Yeah, we stayed at the we were staying at the Peachtree Towers,
Yeah,
which is
so
across the street from the
yeah, we'll
Hyatt.
talk that's an important thing to talk about. I mean, so we're gonna go through we're gonna go ahead and tell you the hotels we're gonna talk about, tell you the criteria we're gonna judge them by, and in a week or two, we're gonna come up with a listing of the hotels as we think in order of preference. So the hotels we're gonna be talking about. And some of these aren't even there anymore, but you know what? We're going to talk about them because they're in a general area where there are other hotels. Like one of the most important things to consider. Actually, it may be my top thing. Uh, is location. This
Especially
is
if you cosplay.
Yeah, especially if you cosplay. This is a convention where you don't want to be. You don't have to stay at a host hotel. And honestly, I'm more on the side of saying don't fool with a host hotel, but you want to stay where you can walk to the convention. Or if you're not cosplaying, well, actually, you can cosplay in the MARTA. If you're staying at a hotel in Midtown or up a little bit, you want to stay at a hotel close to MARTA. Location and price is always one. To me, it's a question of whether price or location is most important. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the Holiday Inn Capitol Conference Center. It changed to a Ramada. Now it's closed. Frankie, you said you thought they were doing renovations,
I thought it said remodeling, but I may have, but I'm not for sure.
and you say they're doing renovations on it. To me, it looked like Mad Max. It looked like it was closed.
Well, they had fenced it off, and then they didn't just they weren't tearing it down. They had just gutted it.
Uh,
Okay.
we're going to talk about the Glen Hotel. Uh, we're also going to talk about actually, we're going to talk about the Hotel Midtown, which is in Midtown. It's now a Hyatt centric hotel. It was a comfortable walk, but it was like 10th Avenue.
Tenth
Wasn't a bad walk. Yeah, well, it wasn't a bad walk.
Okay, now okay. The next up is downtown Marriott.
Yeah,
That's up.
that's and now that hotel's a DoubleTree now.
Yeah. Okay, that's really okay. As distance wise and proximity, that is really good. You're
Yeah,
literally behind. You're on the other side of the street from the Westin.
yeah. The Westin's the next hotel actually. The Westin is one of the main five.
Just don't
Three
talk
at
about
low.
Westin is where you go, and it has the Buffy track and the
For me, the Westin, a pro for the Westin is location because it's where Werewolf is, and that's what we played latest at night. And after we finish Werewolf, we can go to our room. But a con is location because unless they have a really good guest on Urban Fantasy, we never go to the Westin.
the Marriott Marquise.
That's probably the center hotel. If you look at DragonCon, if you look up DragonCon pit and click on the images on Google, you're going to get Marriott Marquis images. That's the
9% of the
that's the
time.
theater. That's the hotel. That's the center of DragonCon. The Marriott Marquis is a cool hotel, but there are pros and cons to it.
Okay, now I'm down to the Omni,
Yeah,
which is
Omni's pretty far walk, but we'll talk about it. It's down there by its own food court. Uh,
Yes, but it's a straight walk from the Westin. But it's downhill to the Momney and it's uphill if you're going to the convention.
for us,
Okay, English Beach
honest to God,
Street.
if you Google this hotel, you will be scared off. This hotel may not be my number one. I don't know yet, but it's going to be in the top three because I loved it. What's
Okay,
next?
we stayed at the Peachtree Tower, which is in a hotel. It's an apartment building. It's called the Peachtree Tower. We got it through a V through a what did we get it through?
Well, I think I had put our name on a hotel list at DragonCon, and then some guy reached out to me and said he had a room. And I think they have an agreement with whoever owns that place. It's not a good idea to book VRBOs and Airbnbs at DragonCon because they can cancel at the last minute. But you and I, because we've got great luck, we really do when you think about it. We got it's a nice place.
Well, no, we got the
Again,
Castle one
that's
year.
another situation. That year we had a full kitchen in that place. We saved a lot of money just on meals and stuff. Maybe we overdid it going up there cooking too much, but uh that place may be in my top five. I
I
don't
spent like
know.
$200 that year. No, it was great.
That may be in my top five.
Okay, then we got the Fairfield.
Yeah, the Fairfield Inn and Suites. Uh that's
It's
me.
gonna be, that's going to be on my that would okay. The next two were on the bottom of my list.
Yeah. Go ahead and
This
say the next one.
this one's the Fairfield. It's not a good walk.
It's not a good walk. It's a long walk. Um, and it may not be the best walk to do when you're on dangerous chemicals in the Kool-Aid Man outfit uh, at 4 in the morning, which are very specific things that Frankie and I both have familiarity with.
Okay, now the Castleberry. Castleberry is an excellent hotel,
It is an
but
excellent hotel, and
but
now
it's
it's
in a poor
declaring.
but it's in a poor area, not because of the area itself, but it's so far away from the convention.
And I don't know how you'd tell somebody to walk to that hotel. I mean, it was all zigzag and
Yeah.
everything.
And even we even got a taxi one night, and the taxi driver was confused and was going to let us off in a parking lot, not the Castleberry Hotel, but the Castleberry area.
I don't
So,
remember what year we stayed in it, but it was a year whenever we were still taking cameras to Dragon Con.
oh
And I
yes,
remember we rode the bus one night. That was another thing. It's the only year we ever had to ride the bus. And we rode the bus over there, and these people were staring at my camera. I mean, honestly, uh,
I was afraid my Nikon was going to Nikon was going to
I
knock
mean,
on
there
right
was a
off.
MARTA that was reasonably close, but
Marta's doesn't stay open late. The buses
MARTA,
stay
yeah,
open,
MARTAs don't stay open late enough for
and the
us.
buses run like really late in the night.
So that's our list of the hotels. So I'm
You
going to
can
go
see
ahead
the
and
stadium
say,
from the hotel.
whenever we do a list of number 11 through 12 or whatever, that's my bottom one.
Actually, Fairfield's my bottom one.
There's no way the Fairfield was walkable. I mean, other than
Yeah, but
that
it's so
one walk,
scary.
other than that one time, that one you can't. Every other time we did, it was fine. Every other time we walked to the hotel, it was fine
I don't understand why they just can't have it. If they have a police officer, a couple of patrol cars.
because they're too busy trying to imprison Donald Trump. That's why they can't have a. That's why Atlanta can't have a police officer everywhere. They're too busy doing nonsense like that instead of what they ought to be doing. But I mean, I don't think the Fairfield would be number. I don't think it would be my next to bottom. If I had to pick my next to bottom off this,
Okay, now the Fairfield as a hotel is great. It's an older hotel. It's sweet.
yeah,
It's
but
all
it's also Frankie. It's only I'm like a mile away. It's not.
less than a
Now
mile.
you like take that one stupid walk out of your mind. So I guess our assignment for the next 2 or 3 days or whatever is to sit down, and we'll have to do this on a phone call to sit down and between the two of us come up with what we think the listing is. And for on the video, what I plan to do is, what are you doing?
I'm going to tape my cameras in the perfect spot.
Well, anyway, what I want to do is whenever we're talking about the hotels on each of our images, I want to list our pros and cons. They're kind of spread out. One or two of them are in South Atlanta. One of them is in, I guess, West Atlanta.